Awesome, perfect.
Mom too. No, Mom?
We had a memorial, not a memorial, but we had a burial at Holy Cross Cemetery for family only. Because we had not seen each other since he had died. We had all been there, the siblings, but this was a chance for us to all come together. It was very, very difficult for us. It's a huge loss. And we decided then that we would have a celebration of life. And then all of you came to mind, and the famous band, of course, and then it was so great, you know. So many of us went to St. Bernadette's, and I'll open with a reflection that we had at the burial. And then I've asked four of you to say a few words. Leo is going to begin, and then George Berthy, I think, and then Pauline and also Bruce. Okay. And we have a reading from our cousin who lives in Colorado, from the Brady side of the family. And then we're going to open it up to anyone who would like to share anything. You can come to the mic, or you can share from where you are. I think we can all hear. Okay? So let us begin with this reflection about Richard and
for the Jabro family. And one of the memories I have was my youngest brother Paul, when he was quite small, of us taking him down to see the Jabros in his stroller. That's how close we were. Those are the kinds of things we did back then. So some of my memories of Dick, Richard, whoever he wants to be called.
He's the best athlete. I mean, he was amazing. We had a little football team. It wasn't like super organized or anything, but we'd play other Catholic schools in the area. And Dick was the quarterback, of course. And Tony Fish, does anybody remember Tony Fish? Yeah. Tony was also a really good athlete. He lived near the Jabros. And so he would, go down for a second, he had amazing talent. In high school, he was on the swimming team. I was on the swimming team as well. I was a swimmer. And they decided to try having a diver. Like, nobody knew anything about diving. But for some reason, Dick ended up being the diver on the team. And we didn't have a pool at this high school. We didn't have a diving board, obviously. But we had a trampoline. And so Dick would practice diving on the trampoline. And we get to the swim meet. Obviously, he was, nobody was sweeter than him. And so, he just felt bad for me. He had no idea that I was trying to show off to, win the favor of this girl who was only interested in him. Anyway, so many incredible memories. And then, of course, all the way leading up to the band days, Bruce McIntyre and I decided, we wanted to form this band. And so we thought, we need a singer. We were pretty active around the Los Angeles area. And, but one day, for some reason, we were asked to play for St. Mary's High School, all girls high school. And Suzanne went to St. Mary's, and so did my sister. But this was after Suzanne was there. There was a time we were young and coming of age. There was a time we were a singer. everything light and free. You made everything better than it would be. There was a time we were laughing every day. There was a time you were the front man in every way. There was a time you made life better for all your friends. But there comes a time when the story ends. You made everything light.
It was like, and then they moved. But I mean, he had that ability to freeze that thousands of people just spontaneously. He was amazing that way. This one? Oh, there's too many stories. I just had to share those few that I could remember. But he was one of a kind. He's also a very good cook, chef kind of guy. He could make breakfast like nobody's business. And he was always making food, and he always drove. Like, we go to Yosemite all the time, and no matter whose car it was, he drove. And, oh, I got another one. We were, he had a girlfriend, Sharon Cole, and she moved to, like, Newport Beach or someplace like that. So we'd all jump in the folks' station wagon.
But I joined the band, The Sound Idea, in about 1967 as the drummer. And it's been with me here ever since. And Dick Richard was a huge part of that. An open mic. And I don't know, Tom, do you remember even where this was? I think you were there at the time. Yeah, it was going to be like a little nightclub kind of thing, like the Troubadour or something. And people were going to show up and they were going to play music. Whoever wanted to get up and perform could perform. And we went to this. Dick, a bunch of us who were there, probably Tom.
I just wanted to say, after hearing all of these wonderful stories, and the stories are not superficial, they're very deep. They all came from the heart. You're here because of the depth of those stories. You always remember, you could say 100 different stories and be up here the rest of the act.
For Richard Jabro, Celebration of Life. Tom, please share this with your family and friends.
Pause.
Dear all, for me to summarize my feeling about Richard in this note would not do him the justice he deserves. As a boy, in short pants with my Sweeney aunts and uncles, the Sweeneys were his aunt and uncle, Sweeney family, I first met the Jabro family on Victoria. It was them, and from that point forward, Dickie and I were the twins, according to Claire. I remember Dickie fondly from the trips to 2 weeks in Yosemite and his visits to Woodside, Napa, Florida visits, Dodger stories, and all the other special times we spent together. That 2-week trip to Yosemite gave me a new perspective on life. Thank you, Dickie. As with all the Jabros, there was
Dick did drugs. They were a lot of fun. until he had to live with bum. He had his struggles, that is true, with drugs and demons, quite a few. But he fought hard and found his way to brighter skies, a brand new day. He lived his life with childlike glee and gave his time so generously. His kindness and joyful life was such a gift. Now that he's gone, I am sad and miffed. I just want him back. He was one of a kind. His laugh brought joy to the room every time. Ha ha ha, he would always utter. Not hearing it again just makes me shudder. He taught us all to live and learn, to take the good and leave the burn. And even when the road was rough, to keep on going, strong and tough. He had a heart that knew no bounds, a smile that turned our world around. He made us laugh, he made us sing, and filled our hearts with joy and zing. He was simply a great uncle, that is clear. I just wish that he was still here.
Came to my parents' house with Suzanne and I, and their real objective was to convince us not to enter the convent. But Mr. Jabro fell in love with my grandmother because he was reminded of his mother. And from then on, we were bonded.
Is having Dick as my friend for so many years. And I'm just going to share one story that it means so much to me, that we're a group of friends together, and now actually not going to Yosemite, but to Sequoia instead. We all piled into this red Volkswagen bus that I had procured from my office. And we headed out, a bunch of us, with dogs, and everybody packed into this VW bus. And I remember going up the Grapevine, and Dick was riding shotgun. He was basically my co-pilot. And I said, Dick, I don't know how long it's going to take us to get up the Grapevine, but we couldn't have been going more than 10 miles an hour with semis behind us.
Everybody was piling in the car to go, some of you may know the story of it. Some of them piling in the car to go on a trip up to St. John's Seminary to visit Bob. And they were running late, me and Claire and all the kids except Bob. And his mom had made chocolate cake to bring up there to have when they got there. And they were in such a rush when she goes, oh, I forgot the cake. She went and got the cake, came back to the car. Or she forgot something else. She came back to the car.
And we laughed, and that's what Richard would have liked. He would have loved the idea, and he does today, that we are all here to pay honor to how he was in our lives and how he is a reflection of who we are today. And we talked to a couple of the guests today about our parents having such an impact on us as the offspring, of which Richard was one, and everybody went in a different direction. A priest, a nun, and 3 sinners. We were happy. So let me just introduce my family. I have all my kids except one, Joe. Some of you know Joe. My oldest son is Lou, and I couldn't think of a better name, so I just, whatever was top of mind, I just threw that one at him, and, it was a panic. And so then, of course, then was Joe, and then, of course, then God blessed me with 3 young, beautiful girls. You heard from Jennifer.
It is Jabro.
She's the poet, and we know it. And then there's Julie, and Julie is my second daughter, and so she tells me we had to go for perfection, so we had Janine. So Janine is my youngest daughter, which even though she's not as young as you'd like to think she was. But I have grandchildren too. I have Lou and Jackie is my daughter-in-law. Or was Jackie there? Jackie, is that her? Okay. And then
Very
all
funny.
of them- we have two beautiful grandchildren, Lucas, and we have Mia. And they're right over here, Lucas and Mia. And they live in Lake Havasu City, and they're boat people now. And then we have my daughter Jennifer. She has two wonderful boys with her husband Yogesh, and they're right over here, and that would be Jay and Dave. And then I had nothing to do with any of this, of course, but I'll just keep going. And then I have Julie, and she has two beautiful babies, Brady over here, and Sophia.
Sophie.
And then of course we have Janine and her husband Eric, and they have a puppy. So Winston. So if you like Winston, oh, did you guys want to say something? Anyway, I really love all of you for coming. There's so many. Oh, and Kathy Jabro. Suzanne proud of you. I'm not going to test this, are you? Suzanne, I forgot Kathy.
You forget her.
Kathy is part of our, she was Bob's wife, and Bob rest his soul. We loved him. Many of you came to Bob's services, which we always appreciate. But now we have Richard. Richard is the person that we're here for today. And if it wasn't he who passed, he beat it. So, and carry on. Love you all.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Smile.
I woke up the other morning thinking of Claire and the Bradys and how strong the Bradys were with Claire, you know, the Irish part. So I'm probably not going to say this right, but it was a toast, and it's there are good ships, there are wood ships, there are good ships. There are ships that sail the sea, but the best ship of all are friendships. May they last eternity.
Dude, I missed. Oh man, I came up here to see the band. I have backstage pass.
You guys ready?
All right. What we got?
I don't know.
Jam session going on.
Yeah.
get people's attention.
Oh my goodness.
Zoe, Zoe, come. Zoe. That's gonna make a great TikTok. It's cinematic.
What a cinematic.
It like makes the background blurry.
Next time.